Las Vegas ride-along, it's time to start DoorDashing and Uber eating, so let's get going. Hey everybody, it's 6:39 a.m. and we are off to Eggworks. We're going to be getting, well, let's see how much money we're getting. We're going to be getting $7.50 for 3.5 miles. All right, let's get on over to Eggworks. All right, we got the order and now we're headed off to what looks like an apartment. Let's take a look here. Once I get the sun out of my eyes, I'll be able to see. Leave at my door. I'm in the first building you see on your right. Drive straight and park on your right side where the stairs go. Boy, the sun makes it hard to read. Let's just get over to the apartment because I can't really read it with the sun in my eyes. It's a long paragraph. They're trying to give me really specific instructions on how to get there, but they're a little too long in the tooth. Let's see. If the door is locked, press this number and then the call button and then I'll buzz you. But then make a right and take the elevator to the third floor and then make a left and then I'm in this building number. Thank you. That is a lot of information, especially at 6:45 in the morning. There was nobody in the Eggworks and the food was already good to go, so there was not much to talk about as far as what the experience was like to be in Eggworks. It was just empty and the food was ready and I grabbed it and then I just got back in the car and I pressed confirm on the app and that was it. Now this next apartment complex that we're going to be delivering to, it is not an easy building to deliver to. I mean, if it's the main building in the front, it's easy because usually the door is unlocked. But the rest of the buildings in this particular complex, there's a gate that you have to get through, and even after you get through that gate, there is a there's security doors on each building to get into each building. So you need a second code. So it's tricky. Now I can see why they're giving so many instructions, because it is not an easy building to navigate if you have to get into the buildings other than the one by the leasing office. So that's good that they gave the directions, and hopefully they make it as easy as possible to get to the drop-off. Well, surprise, surprise, she's in the very first building with the leasing office, so this isn't going to be hard. I wonder why she wrote such a long, complicated explanation. Maybe because it is such a big building that when you get inside and you go up the elevator, that's where it gets confusing. It's like, do you go left, do you go right? Maybe that's why she left more specific instructions. Or maybe people get anxious and nervous when they get there and they're like, oh, there's a gate and I don't know what building it is. Maybe that's why. Because when I first went to this complex, I felt that way. I was like, oh, this is a very intimidating apartment building with all the security and everything. So it makes you very anxious that you're going to get lost and you're not going to be able to find the drop-off spot. So that's probably why she did it. Okay, those instructions were great. We had no problems. We made it through and We dropped it off, and now we have another place to go to. We're going to Vons, 4.5 miles, and it is shopping for 2 items. We're getting $8.45 for 4.5 miles. Sun is powerful today. It is washing everything out. Just be the angle or something, or the atmosphere. But boy, it is strong today. Just got to deal with it and just get on through. I got a new microphone. I got the one that has the USB-C, so no 4mm jack. So now I can switch back and forth between phones, so that way I can have good quality sound on either phone. So hopefully it's working. Hopefully I'm not going to end up when I get home and have no audio at all. I tested it last night and the audio sounded fine, so it was working at home. So fingers crossed that it is working now. So yeah, so it looks like there's for some reason on the app for Vons it says Vons Pets, and I'm not sure why, because it's just the same old Vons I always go to do grocery shopping. But maybe because it's just specific items related to pets. I don't know, but it says Vons Pets. It's so confusing. It looks like it's just the regular stuff you find in the grocery aisles. I'm not sure why they're doing that. Maybe it's a special thing that they do, and they're able to charge more money to the customer by doing it. So that's a possibility. But from my point of view, it's just another. Man, that guy almost crashed right into me, and he almost ran some guy over that was walking on the sidewalk. Typical person in those big black trucks driving like lunatics. Man, and it's 6:58 in the morning. You're driving like a nut. Total nut job. There he is. And he's speeding to the light. There he goes. Good riddance. Go far away. Go far, far away. Far from us. We want to live. Today we want to live. Alright, well, we're just about there. So I got my new mic plugged in. The sound should be a lot better. Let's see what we're shopping for. Arrive at store and start shopping. It looks like we're shopping for Fresh Pet dog roasted meals. Just one of them. And then the other thing is another Fresh Pet adult dog food fresh from the kitchen. Home cooked chicken recipe, 4.5 pounds. That's it, just 2 things. All right, let's go get it. All right, they didn't have one of them, so I got 2 of the same thing, and I'm sort of giving a few seconds to wait to hear if the guy wants something else. So, but right now we got 2 of the same thing. Like each one's like 5.5 pounds. I didn't hear back from the customer, so they got 2 of the same thing. We're going to be going 3 minutes away, 1.4 miles. It looks like a house, and it's a leave at the door. Here we go. All right, well, this is going to be a little bit tricky. I've got to quickly get over to the far right lane as we merge. I don't know if I'm going to make the turn or not. I should have went the other way. Well, we'll just wing it. We'll figure it out. If we miss the turn, we'll make it at the next turn. Because these people, when they come out of Anthem, they come roaring out like wild animals. Oh, there's nobody. Oh, we lucked out. All right, awesome. Yeah, and I can make the turn. Yay, I can make the turn. Awesome. Oh my goodness. I made more graphics, new graphics. You can probably see them above me now for this video. I like them a lot better. You can now see more clearly what stage of the delivery we are in, because they're glowing much brighter, and there's actual text that glows as well in the menu above, which I really like. I liked it a lot. I was like, wow, this looks so much better. So I think that was the last thing I was thinking about, you know, for now. I'm always coming up with something new. I'm always thinking, wow, what about this? This will make it even better. Just can't help myself. I'm never satisfied. I'm always trying to like do something different. I'm like, no, let's try something else. Even when it's 100%, even if we get to 100% of perfection, I just throw in the garbage. I'm like, oh, let's start all over again. Let's do something else. I don't know what it is about my personality that makes me never satisfied about whatever I make. Even if 100% of people like it, I just like, okay, I'm bored. I want to do something else. Just a curse. I didn't even know there was a street right here. I was like, there's gotta be a gate. And no, we are here. No gate, which is awesome. Let's make sure we find the right place. This is it. It's the house, of course, with all the cars where anybody could have driven to got this this dog food. But they decided for whatever reason, oh no, I can't drive. Call the DoorDash guy to come and get it. And that's where I come in handy. Startled for a second coming back out from the car. It wasn't a big dog that was off leash. It was a little tiny wiener dog. And it just startled me because I'm like, why is this little wiener dog all by himself just walking in the neighborhood? First I was a little bit, wiener dogs can be really aggressive. So I was just a little bit like, I hope this wiener dog isn't aggressive, but he was so tiny. But wiener dogs are known to be very protective, but and known to bite. So, but no, he's just walking. Oh, hold on, $6.50, 9.2 miles. No, yeah, but he was walking with his owner, but the owner was like, like about, I don't know, 20, 30 feet ahead of him because wiener dogs walk so slow. And so I guess he walks with the dog, but he doesn't put the dog on a leash. He just walks and the dog walks behind him, I guess. So it made me, first I was like nervous. I was like, what's going on? Why is this little wiener dog by himself? And then I saw the owner. I'm like, oh, okay, now I understand what's happening. So, but all these things went through my mind like all at once. I was like, what is going on? So anyway, that delivery was normal. There was nothing unusual that occurred. And yeah, it was an easy drop-off. So easy shopping, easy drop-off, and so far this day in general has been a no-brainer. So we got 2 down, and it is 7:18, and we are, I guess we're getting close to it being an hour already. I guess. I don't remember when I started. It's 7:18. I think I started at around close to 6:30, like 6:20. So it's been an hour. So you can see in the total what we're making per hour. It ain't so great, but who cares? To remember to make sure the camera keeps me in frame. Sometimes when I'm talking, I'm like looking at things and I start to lean to my left and then I fall off camera. Then only half of my face is showing on camera. Oh my God, there's so many different variables you have to think about. Like I have to think about all the graphics and make sure I position the camera right. So like I'm not covered up by the graphics, and I gotta make sure that that the audio thing is plugged in right, and actually have the mic on, that I didn't just leave it on the floor. And so yeah, there's always a lot to think about in these productions. But no, I've been having a good time doing it, and I'm still cranking them out every day. I'm making a video, so they're building up. My library's getting bigger, so you people that are thinking about getting a tier membership, once the library gets big enough, it'll be more tempting to get it. You'll be like, wow, he's got so many videos that I haven't seen. You can see them all when you pay the tier membership on the gold one. The silver one you can see some, and then the bronze one you can see the next one that's about to come in. Lowered my rate on the cheat sheet. I'm now, instead of $1.75 a mile, I'm at $1.65 a mile. And I'm actually making it even a little bit lower than that. So I'm being more flexible, like I'm rounding down. So like if it was a 4-mile trip, it would normally be $6.60. Oh, here comes something. Starbucks. $8.25 for 10.8 miles. No. So like if I got an order right now for 4 miles, I would need at least $6 and I guess $6, I guess. I'm just thinking, well, maybe I'll just round down to the nearest dollar. Just lop off the change. But it can't be, you know, it can't be high fours. It has to be low $4 range. I mean, low 4-mile range. And then I'd be like, okay. But if it's high 4 miles, I'm rounding up on the miles. And then I'm just moving on to the next category and then rounding down the numbers. So for a 5-mile trip, it's going to be $8 for 5 miles instead of 6 miles for 4. Here comes one, $8.13 for 16.4 miles. That one I'm not gonna do. No way in hell. 16 miles. I don't think so. All right, we got Chick-Fil-A coming up next. $9 for 5.5 miles. All right, let's go to Chick-Fil-A. I found a new sunscreen on Amazon because the sunscreen I wear now, it gives me a white cast on my face. So I went on Google and I said, does a lower SPF show less on a dark complected skin person? And it said that if you have a darker skin complexion, you should be using SPF 10 to 20. So I go, oh, because the one I'm using is SPF 30, so no wonder it's creating such a white cast on my face, making it look more like I'm wearing clown makeup. So I ordered it. It's a aloe vera based sunscreen, which is good because I have sensitive skin. So I'm like, okay, well that sounds good. And then I think it's SPF 20, I think is what it is. I can't remember. Is it 15 or 20? Either way, it's better than the one I'm wearing now at 30. It's too thick and too much white. So yeah, so that'll be coming soon, and then I can finally retire the sunscreen I'm wearing. A lot of people, when they're young, they don't think about sun damage on their skin and the effects that could happen if you don't wear sunscreen. And it's usually not until you're middle aged like me that you actually realize, oh shoot, I should have put sunscreen on. And that's when you see the results of not wearing sunscreen. And I know for myself, like when I was in my teens and 20s, I never wore sunscreen, you know, because my skin was flawless. I'm like, well, there's nothing wrong with my skin. I have no bad complexion. And and then every time I went in the sun, it just made it a nice dark brown, so it just looked nice. It never looked damaged. And you don't realize it's deep within the surface that these things are happening. You can't see it on the exterior. It happens decades later that it finally comes to the surface and you see it. So young people, wear sunscreen. Lesson for the day: wear sunscreen. And but it's so hard to do everything right. You know, when you're young, there's just too many things. You know, you got to make sure you take care of your teeth. You got to make sure you eat right. You got to make sure you take care of your skin, your hair. There's just too many things. Just do the best you can. You know what? Don't worry about it too much. I think people that if you highly prize your appearance, because some people do, it's like high priority to them, their appearance. If it's high priority to you, then you've got to do all those things because, you know, that's what you consider to be very important to you. For myself, I didn't care. I just took it for granted, like, oh, this is just how I look. I don't care. I think I'm that way even to this day. You know, I'm just kind of like, well, whatever happens, you know. But, you know, of course I want to make sure I just do the best that I can without spending too much time, because, you know, time is precious. We only got so much time. So we're like, spend a little bit of time doing it, but don't obsess over, you know, having perfect skin or perfect health. Spend a little bit of time every day on it. That's all. Yeah, I got the Chick-fil-A. It's quiet everywhere. There was nobody inside the Chick-fil-A. I just walked right in and they had the food all ready to go because it's so slow. So it looks like it's gonna be a slow day. And my strategy is not gonna change. I will be at home. I'll just be working on graphics, maybe coming up with new concepts for the video, or just hanging out with my doggies, or relaxing or something. I'll be doing something good. Last night I had a good dinner. I had one of my veggie burgers, the ones that I made from scratch. using black beans. They came out really good. They're better than even the ones they saw at the market. I'm telling you, if you make things from scratch, they're so much better than anything that you buy pre-made at the store, because they don't put any chemicals in it. When they put those preservative chemicals in, you know, so that it doesn't, you know, rot or it doesn't go bad really fast. When they do that, it alters the flavor of the item. So if you have the time, make your food from scratch if you can. I'm not telling you guys to make your own bread, but just make some things that you know you can make in a short amount of time, and then freeze it or refrigerate it, and it'll be good for at least, you know, a week at least. And then for that entire week, you've got something homemade in the refrigerator to enjoy, instead of those pre-packaged chemical things that are really not even food. They're like Frankenstein food. All right, we're here in the community with the gate. They didn't really have a guard. I think it was like a volunteer person. Let's see, I think it's this house. I think I've been to this house before. Yep, it's this house. All right, there's nothing for you guys to see. Alright, it was a pretty simple drop off. There was not anything exciting. Just walk to the door and sit her down. We're headed off now to Smart and Final. We're going to be shopping for 10 items, and we're going to have to be traveling 9.3 miles to complete this order. We're going to be getting $17.07 for this particular order. So let's head on over now to Smart and Final and pick it up. Or rather, not pick it up. Let's do some shopping. All right, let's take a look at what we're shopping for. Looks like we're gonna get some kind of fruit cups, cookie dough, milk, cheese, a lot of cheese, sandwich meat, bananas, tomatoes, and some salad, some lettuce. And that's all. Let's go in there and get it. They had all the items except for one. They didn't have a certain type of sliced cheese, so I got them two of one of the other kinds, and that was about it. And then I just headed on out of there, and now we're on our way. It's 16 minutes away, 7.6 miles. I think I'm just gonna take the street to get there, because at this time it's 8:15 a.m. and there's a lot of traffic on the freeway. So we're headed on the street to this place, and I think it's a house. It looks like a house. Leave at my door, do not ring the bell, and do not knock. All right, we're on our way. Someone told me online that I should take all these receipts that I'm getting, and I should sign up for some app. I don't remember what it was called, Reach, or I don't know what it's called, but you get gift cards if you scan in all of these receipts. I don't know if it's worth the hassle. That takes time to scan. I think it said you can scan up to 35 receipts in a 7-day period or something like that. I don't feel like doing that. It's a hassle. I don't need nobody's gift card. You know how many gift cards I have at home in a shoebox? It is ridiculous. I never even use them. They just sit there and collect dust because I always forget I even have the gift card. We are so far away. We are far from our zone. Coming into Old Henderson. Can't even believe that that somebody would order something from Smart and Final and have to have it delivered this far away. It's a long way to go. And to pay all that money. They must really like Smart and Final, I guess. I mean, I would just, there's a Vons just around the corner from here. Why didn't they just go to Vons? That would have been cheaper than having me come out all the way over here to bring them cookie dough and cheese and some produce. It's like, why? I don't know. What else? I think I've been to this house. Gosh. So it's always the same people. We got the same customers. All you other people that do DoorDash and UberEats, you probably recognize the location. You're like, I know that house, or I know that place. We all go to the same places. everybody. It's 8:37 a.m. and that means we've been driving for 2 hours. So you can see how much money we've made at the 2-hour mark, and that'll tell you how much our hourly rate is. So hey, that's something. There's nothing happening today. This is a boring day. I'm sorry to have to say it. This episode may not be that exciting. I mean, it might towards the end, but for right now, there's nothing happening. I'm racking my brain. I'm like, what else is interesting to talk about? There's nothing going on. I'm just trying to just think of anything like pop culture related or TikTok related or anything. But today's a boring day. You're like, I'm digging looking for gold, and all I'm finding is more dirt. $3.40, 5.8 miles in the know. Yeah, there's nothing happening to discuss that's really interesting or ear grabbing. Like, oh wow, I did look at $22.37 to drive 8.1 miles, but you gotta shop for 29 items, and they're heavy. Oh no. Oh no. All right, we got a double order. First place we're gonna go to is Scrambled, and then we have to go to Albertsons and do shopping for 10 items. So here it is. Here's what it is. It's $17.23 for 10 miles. And then we're first going to Scrambled, and then when the bacon and eggs sits in the car while we're shopping, it gets colder and colder. Then we'll come back to the car with the and deliver the Scrambled and the Albertsons to one customer. I'm sure he's going to be so happy when he gets his Scrambled order and it's ice cold from sitting in the car while we've been shopping for his groceries. I don't think the customer realizes that the same driver usually does their food pickup and their grocery order the same person does it. I think they think that two separate drivers do it, and they're always shocked. I'm sure they're shocked, like, oh my God, they made the same driver do all my shopping while that food sat in the car. I'm like, hey, this is DoorDash. They can't take the money. They can't take the tip down. They can't be like, oh man. Now if it's Uber, I worry. I'm like, oh man, what are we gonna do? Because they're gonna lower the tip when they see how cold their food is. It's just been sitting. All right, we're finally here at Scrambled. I'm sure the food will be ready because we were so far away when the order came in. So that tells me that the food will be ready. 90% chance. Let's get it. All right, we have the order. It was the only order on the shelf. It looks so slow in there. It's like everywhere we go, it's slow, slow, slow. And I don't know how long the food was sitting there. There was a person in front of me placing an order to go, and so I had to wait for them to place their order, and then I was able to talk to the hostess, and then she gave me the order. That food is gonna be so cold by the time the customer gets it. I mean, it takes a while to get 10 items at the market. That takes time. It'd be different if it was just 2 items. And then traffic's heavy right now. It's 8:54. There are still people trying to get to the office. So there's a lot of cars on the road. I bet you this order of food is gonna sit in my car a minimum of 30 minutes, maybe 45 minutes. But at least 30 minutes. Because it takes time to shop. All right, let's take a look at what we're shopping for. Dunkin, coffee, something or other. I don't know. I'm trying to drive. Lean Cuisines, half and half, some yogurt, and some Simply OJ. All right, got it all. I don't know how long we've been in here, but we got it. Let's go check out. This customer must not be very happy. His house is right down the street from Scrambled. So he is basically probably looking at me on his phone and thinking, why in the heck did they assign both of my orders to this one driver who has to do my grocery shopping? He's probably just, I would be mad. I'd be like, why did they do this to me? How could I pay all this money and have my food just sitting in a car while this driver does my grocery shopping? My expensive breakfast from Scrambled is just sitting in his car while he's shopping. I don't understand. Why are they doing this? Oh, it's not my fault. Don't blame me. Don't blame the messenger. I had nothing to do with it. My job, I followed the instructions. The app said pick up your Scrambled and then do your shopping. And that's what I'm doing. And I'm sorry if your food has been just sitting in this car, but that's what the app said to do. The app could have said drop off the food first and then proceed to go do the shopping and then come back to his house, but I'm sure I would have declined the offer because the miles would have been much higher. I'm so happy that this isn't a hand it to me. I don't want to get into some kind of conversation with somebody who knows that I've had their food sitting in the car. Oh, they'll probably be like, why did you take that? Why did you not just bring the food to me first? I'm like, sorry. The app doesn't tell me the drop off. It just told me next go to Albertsons. We're almost there. Getting closer. Just gotta turn right here. Oh yeah, it's this street. I don't normally turn here. This is a new house I've never been to. I see it. Alright, let me just turn around. It's a cul-de-sac. I've never been in this cul-de-sac. It's nice. Nice and big. Do not knock or ring the doorbell. Okay, I won't. Alright, well the customer never came out of their house. First I dropped off the Scrambled, and then I thought while I was getting the groceries they'd pop out and grab their food, but nobody came out. So so I just dropped it off and left it all there, and now I'm ready for my lunch, so I'm heading back home, and I'll be out in a little bit back for more fun. Alright everybody, it is 10:18 a.m. We don't have that much left in the shift. I took a little bit of a longer lunch, I guess. I don't know what happened. Well, 45-minute lunch. Excuse me. I guess that's a long lunch. We're going off to Dunkin. We're going to be getting $7 for 3.6 miles. Let's head on over, dude. In Dunkin. I was watching my latest video. It just came out like 20 minutes ago. And of course I was waiting for offers probably about 10 minutes ago. I was waiting for offers and nothing good was coming in. So I was watching my video that just released, and I was just wondering to myself, how long before I just start repeating myself, you know? How long before I start just telling the same stories over and over again? Because there's only so many childhood stories you can tell. There's only so many things that you can reminisce about before you start repeating. So I was just listening to this story about how I got into a bicycle accident, and my thought was, boy, I sure hope I don't repeat that story anytime soon, because everyone's gonna say, like, stop repeating that bicycle story. Oh God, I gotta come. Let me think of a story that's original I haven't told yet. Oh, there was one time when we were kids and we were too lazy to wait for the bus. We had to catch two buses, and so the first bus that we had to catch, we didn't want to wait. We're like, let's get a ride to Whittier Boulevard, because we live probably about 3 miles, maybe about 3 miles, maybe 4 miles from Whittier Boulevard. And so we said, let's hitchhike. Now, we were young. We were probably about 10 years. I was 10 and my brother was probably 12. Yeah, well, no, I was probably 12 and my brother was 14. He had to be a little bit older. And so we started hitchhiking. We just stuck our thumb out and we just kept waiting for somebody to give us a ride. And people were staring at us and going, what are these kids doing? And this was in the 1980s, so it was still at that cusp of people were still hitchhiking. And we're right at the cusp where it was still almost acceptable to be hitchhiking, but not children. Children shouldn't have been hitchhiking, but there we were, thumbing for a ride. And a man pulled over and gave us a ride to the next bus stop, and he was so drunk, he reeked of alcohol, and he gave us a lecture about how he only picked us up because he felt it was not safe for children to be hitchhiking, and so he thought it was safest if he picked us up, as drunk as he was, to pick us up. I was like, oh man. And we were kind of scared because we could tell like he was really drunk. We thought he's gonna get in an accident, but we made it, no problem. And we took the bus and we made it to my grandma's house, no problem. Right, we got our Starbucks. It's 1.8 miles away. It looks like it's a house, and we have a gate code, and it's 1.8 miles, so we'll be there in 5 minutes. And the traffic right now is so crazy. I turned to make a right, and this person suddenly wanted to merge into my lane and was gonna crash into me, so I braked. And then a guy who wasn't even on the road yet, he was still pulling out of the McDonald's driveway, decided to honk at me because I had the nerve to brake so that he couldn't proceed forward and get onto the road. People are so nuts. Oh my gosh. It's only at 10:27 and there are so many people on the road right now. I guess because it's getting warmer and lighter, people are actually wanting to start their lunch break earlier right now, because there's a lot of people right now. A lot of people in the Dunkin. I had to park around the side of the building, and I never do that. I usually park right in front of the Dunkin, so I can get a shot of the Dunkin sign as I'm pulling up. But not today. Every parking spot was full, and there were just people hanging out in front of the Dunkin, and I was like, well, this is weird. But I guess just right now, everybody's just out and about. I guess maybe they're trying to beat the heat. It's 84 degrees right now, and it's 10:28 a.m. I'm so glad I only have about an hour left in my shift. I'm ready to just go home. This bag is so light. I was worried that because it's a little bit windy today, and the bag was like blowing in the breeze. I was worried that if there was a drink in there, it was gonna start to spill. So I just looked right now to see what was in there, and there's no drink in there. It's just food. It's like some kind of breakfast sandwich, and then it's hash browns and omelet bites. So all light stuff. So it makes sense why the wind was making it swing back and forth as I was heading to the car. I might have to get some new clothes. My clothes are starting to look really big on me. I wonder if people think like maybe something's wrong with me. Like, why is that guy wearing such big, loose-fitting clothes? And I think I've dropped. I think since I've been on the DoorDash diet, I've lost a lot of weight, and so I might have to switch, either buy some more clothes, or have to dig through my closet and look for clothes that are a medium size, not a large. Because yeah, I'm starting to feel like I'm swimming in this shirt and shorts. I guess that's a good thing. I mean, I didn't intend to lose weight. I'm just really focused on eating healthier, not necessarily weight loss, more nutrition based, like try not to eat things that are poor in nutrition. So, and then with DoorDash, as long as I don't have food in the car and I just have water, there's no opportunity to eat until I get home. And then when I get home, I eat my healthy food. So I think it's after I've been doing this DoorDash diet. I call it the DoorDash diet. I've been doing it now for probably for about 2 months now. So it's starting to really show in the clothes that I'm wearing. So, and you know, and if you suddenly change your diet dramatically, the weight can come off really fast. Especially if you're very diligent and you don't backslide. All right, we made it into the community. It's not the greatest community in here. I guess these are considered townhouses. No, aren't they all separate? No, they're considered houses. They're each place does not share a wall with anybody else, but they're so close to each other. There's like no land, and the roads in here are so tight. I guess people, yeah, they park over here. There's some parking stalls over here people park at. All right, let's make sure we don't get the wrong house. All right, I saw the address number. We're good. It's just here straight ahead on the left. Yeah, these are some real small places to live for a house. I mean, sure, if you lived in an apartment, you'd be like, wow, these are big. So I think it's this one right here. I'm not gonna block anybody when I do this. Let me zoom back out a little bit so you can at least see me go to the door. It's weird how when you're older, you don't adjust to inflation and high prices. Someone's coming in. $7.50 for 8.9 miles now. When you're older, you don't adjust to the higher price of things. You forever are stuck in the mentality that it's too expensive. But younger people, they adapt. They're like, whatever the price they say to pay, then that's suddenly their mind just says, okay, and now that's the new price. Their minds easily adapt. But when you get older, if I see if I live to be 100, I will still be shocked that I can't find a loaf of bread for 99 cents. Even if it's 40 years from now, I'll still think that because my mind is locked. When you get older, your mind locks up for certain things and it doesn't want to adapt. It wants to just be stubborn. And that's why I think that's part of the reason why a lot of businesses don't want to hire older people, because they know they're very set in their ways and it's almost impossible to get them to adapt to a new situation. They see things as they saw them in the past. So I'm sure that has a lot to do with the $15.03 for 5 miles to shop for 9 items. We gotta go to Sprouts on Silverado Ranch. I'm taking a screenshot of that because we're taking it. I've now accepted it and we're on our way. Let's go. God, guys, you won't believe it. We got something even better, so I'm gonna have to cancel the one that we just got for Sprouts. We're just hitting the gold mine left and right. Oh, I'm sorry, Sprouts, but we're gonna have to cancel you. Let me cancel. Where is it? Where's the cancel? Oh, people are honking at me because I'm not going. I'm sorry. I'm trying to cancel an order. Issue not listed. Now there's time. I have to chat with support. Oh God. And this person's all mad. They're like, "Why didn't you go? Why were you playing with your phone? Pay attention." I'm like, "Sorry." Oh well. What I'll do is I'll drive over to Sprouts really quick because it's just up the street over here, and then I will take care of the issue with Sprouts. Because usually once you drive up to the Sprouts location, then you can ditch it. But let me tell you about the Target one, because that's the one we're going to. Oh them. I wish I could do them both, but it's not possible. So the Sprouts one we already know about, and we're getting rid of it. So let me tell you about the Target one. For Target, we're shopping only for 6 items. Only 6. We're getting $18.50 for 5.1 miles. Isn't that crazy? That is a good deal. So we're going with that one because the other one was double the number of items and it was less money. So we just gotta go and jettison it. We gotta give it the heave-ho, shove it out the window. So I'm getting closer to the Sprouts, and we'll take care of it right now. All right, I am turning into Sprouts, and usually when you arrive at Sprouts and you're actually there, it will give you the opportunity to get rid of the order without penalty. That usually is the case, but maybe not. Maybe I'll still have to speak to support. Either way, I'm ditching it. So let's see here. I'm pulling up. It says arriving soon. All right, I am here. All right, let's see if I can ditch it. You've arrived. Yes, I have. I have a problem. I have a problem with this order. Where's the button to report the issue? Not interested in this order. Cancel. Yes, cancel. We're out of there. Goodbye. Go offline. We did it. All right, let's head on over to Target. I noticed on Tuesdays I tend to get better quality offers on Tuesdays than on other days of the week, not including the Saturday and Sunday. And I think it has to do with today is payday. DoorDash and UberEats pays out the drivers on Tuesdays, and I think a lot of drivers take Tuesdays off for that reason, because they get the money on that day. But since I work 7 days a week, it's just like, well, I notice it. I'm like, Tuesdays there seems to be less competition, so I get these bigger offers. I tend to. I can't say all the time, because there have been some Tuesdays where it was just deader than hell. But today, no, I'm getting these big numbered offers. So you probably notice in the number of deliveries today, maybe it's lower than what I would normally do, because the bigger ones usually take longer to finish. And it's now 10:43 a.m. So that tells me that when I finish this one, I may be able to do one more delivery, or it'll be done for the day. So, and I know with this delivery, we're gonna be close to, I think we're gonna get close to like $80 at that point, I think. Because I think the last time I checked it at home, we were close to $60. And this one is close to $20. So that means we're gonna be close to $80. But there's no way we're gonna hit the $100 goal. There's just no way. Especially not now. I'm making the videos and not multi-apping. I'm really not multi-apping like I used to with the dirty stacks. There's just not that. There's not that possibility with the conversations that I have to have on camera. I cannot focus on strategizing and doing dirty stacks, which is fine. It's less stressful, and I'm sure I'll be able to make up the money once I hit 1,000 subscribers. You know, I think every video I talk about, I'll make up the money. See, I repeat that story in almost every video. I'm sure in every video you can find me talking about money and how I can make up the money once I get 1,000 subscribers. Let's take a look at what we're shopping for. Oh, an item has been added. Great. Now there's 6 items. Those bastards. I was just bragging about how it's such a low number of items and we're getting all this money. And you know they're not going to pay us anymore, because the last time they did this, they didn't pay us anymore at all. So what are we shopping for? A salad kit, some water bottles, some kind of pizza, something, I don't know, a salad, some dog food, and some toilet paper. All right, well, let me park this car. We're in the parking lot now, and let's get this stuff. Oh, it wasn't too bad. Right, we got it, and it's 11:01. So hopefully we can drop this off real quick and we can do one more. It's an apartment though, it's a handed to me. Luckily it's on the first floor, thank you, and the building and the gate code. Whew, let's go. It wasn't too bad. The hardest thing was they didn't have a salad that they wanted. There was like this, I don't know, Nashville salad kit or something. I don't know, they didn't have it. So she got another one of the avocado toast salads. And I think that was the hardest thing. Everything else they had right away that I could find. I was trying to figure out where the pet food was because I knew it was refrigerated, but it wasn't where the regular groceries are, you know, people groceries. So I went down a little bit further and then I saw the pet toys for cats, and that led me to the dog stuff, and it was right there before you even go into the aisle, the little refrigerator. And I got it, and it was a 6-pound roll, like a sausage roll tube of dog food. You know, it's that stuff that makes the dogs feel special, like they're not eating just dry kibble, it's like real food. That's like the newest thing they're doing now for owners that want to pamper their pet. We pamper our pets, but we just still give them just the can wet and then the dry. There was a guy that was the cashier at the Target that helped me to check out, and he reminded me of an old friend of mine from high school. And I found myself treating him like he was my old friend from high school, like I was being real nice. I'm like, oh, don't worry about that, I'll pick that up, that's too heavy for you. I was trying to be real nice, and I was thinking to myself, why am I trying to be really nice to this guy? And it dawned on me, I'm like, oh, he reminds me of my old high school friend, and I'm probably subconsciously thinking he is that person. And you know, and I'm trying to be very nice to him because, you know, I hadn't seen him in a long time, and I'm like, oh, it's funny the things you do subconsciously that you don't realize why you're doing it. You have to really think about it, like assess, like, why am I behaving this way? And then like, oh, it makes sense. That's all right, that's delivered. We're off to another one. We're going to Vons. We're going to be getting $7 plus an extra $2 for a heavy item, and it's 4.2 miles away. And I just hope it's not on the strip because it looks like it's near Las Vegas Boulevard. And it's our last one, and then we're done. We're done after this, and we can go home and do more work. We can do more work. Oh, hooray. His apartment was far and her items were heavy. So I had to first scout. I had to go out as a probe, and I had to go and look to see where her apartment building or her apartment door was at. So I went out as a bee scout. I left the groceries in the car, and like a scout, or like an ant, you know, there's like different types of ants, so I was the scout ant. I went out to find out where the apartment was, and then once I found it and marked my territory, marked the spot and the trail that led to her led to her apartment door, that's when I returned back to the hive, picked up the heavy groceries, or the ant's nest. I can't remember which metaphor works better, the bees or the ants. And then I made my way to her apartment with the heavy items and started to unload at her doorstep. And then I knocked on the door. She did not answer. And then after I texted her and said, I am here, and I sent her a picture of the groceries and her apartment number in the photo, and I began to walk away, That's when she opened the door and she said, "Thank you, I tipped you in the app." And I'm like, "Girl, I know you did. I wouldn't be here if you didn't." Look at what we're shopping for. 1 case of water and 2 avocados. That's all? Wow, that's not bad at all. I guess we'll do it. All right, let's do it. We are using the default navigation, and it's going to take us to a house, not an apartment. Oh my gosh. Well, let's hope that it takes us to an apartment. It's currently 87 degrees and the sun is getting strong. I'm going to have to start wearing my arm sleeves pretty soon, because it's so hot you can't wear a long sleeve shirt. So they make these sleeves that you just slide up your arms to protect your arms from the sun, and they work real good. And that way you can still remain cool, because you're not wearing a true long sleeve shirt. You just have your arms covered and you have a nice loose fitting shirt to stay cool. Well, it looks like it's gonna be okay, I think, because it's showing on the map that we're heading to Las Vegas Boulevard, and then we're squiggling in, and there's all these little tiny squares that look like apartment buildings. So I think we're gonna be okay. See, he put directions here. He says, when you're pulling into the complex, make a right, go around the bend. It's the second building on the left. Okay, that's gonna be helpful. Yeah, I went to the wrong location. I went to the right last 2 digits, but the second digit was wrong. It starts with it's a 2 and a 1 that it starts with, not a 2 and a 0. And of course the building numbers don't align with the building number. So I've got to find 2 1s. He said make a right, and when you go around the bend. So I went right. I went around the bend. I thought I was at the right place, and I wasn't. And of course now I am winded because I took out the flatbed, as you saw in the video, and I carted my ass around the building looking for it, and it wasn't there. So now, and of course these carport things hide the building numbers. So we're just gonna be cruising around until we see it, because his instructions were wrong, totally wrong. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, let's see. Oh, it's this one, building 68. I'm gonna tell you the building number. You deal with it. We're at building 68. Let's drop this effer off. Oh, that was something else. Let me tell you. Oh man. Well, when we found the building, we finally found the GD building. It was right in front of us when we parked, so we didn't have to dance around the building. So that made up for the previous building that we danced around with the cart. So we're done. Check out the total above, and you'll see that's how much we weighed. You can see above also as well. You can see how much money we made and the hourly rate. And let's see, it is 11:44. Let's see, sorry, 6:30, 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, 10:30, 11. 5 hours. We worked for 4 hours. So 4 hours is what we worked, and you can see the hourly rate. We drove 60 miles, and we got 63.8 miles to the gallon. And that's it, everybody. I'll see you on the next one tomorrow, okay? Take care. Bye. All right, everybody. And that is all. Bye for now.